with blue. Oh. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Hey guys. I'm just gonna make these into lives instead of like recording videos. Um I was gonna make this an actual video that I was gonna record and stuff.
Patio door.
That's my dog. But then I was like, no, because whatever. I talked a little about this in my other live. But I kind of wanted to elaborate on this more because I get like so many questions on this. You know, just like I've been trying to shift for X amount of time. Like I just wish that like you could help me or whatever. I just want to stay here while I'm eating and sort of like go through it. I will probably keep this up for a few days and then I'll move it to my folder full of lives. My screen is blue, yeah, because I put blue masking tape over it. Why is the camera like? So here's the problem with. Wait, should I wait for more people to come in or whatever? Let me just hang on. Anyways, for the people who aren't live, I will be putting it. It will be public for a few days, and then I'm gonna move it into my folder with lives. It's a public playlist. Yeah. So right now I have some free time. So I want to start by talking about time. I think that a lot of people they put like a time pressure on themselves. They're like, oh, they approach shifting from the past. They approach it from, oh, like this has been my experience with shifting thus far, and that's how they approach all of their future shifting attempts and their present shifting attempts. And this is like a natural thing to do. This is how we've kind of been programmed to deal with things. Like you take in information from your past and you use it to better educate yourself on, you know, your present and future experiences. It's kind of how our brain works. But when you've been shifting for a really, really long time, when you've been trying to shift for a really long time, you can't approach it this way. You can't be like, oh, I haven't been able to shift through X. I haven't been able to shift for X amount of time. These X things aren't working for me, etc., etc. You can't do that because time doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if you've been shifting for if you haven't quote shifted to where you wanted to for 3 years versus 3 months versus 3 days. Like, and I know it's gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but if you keep approaching shifting from a place of like, oh, I have failed in the past, it's gonna start becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy almost. Like you need to find a way to reconcile with your past and you need to find a way to like move on from it because Hey, Lily. So, what was I saying? Oh, right. Do you like Skip? I did not like Skip. I went to school and then I came back. Have I ever shifted to a waiting room? Yes. Hi, Jay. So um there's gonna be like a few tough pills in here for you guys to understand the process, because I want people to understand that if you keep doing the same shit over and over again expecting the same results, nothing is gonna change. But the good thing is, not that much needs to change. I know people are always looking for some groundbreaking advice to change your life, but what I'm gonna say is gonna be really simple. You know, when you, um, for example, when you go and you shift, and all you think about in relation to shifting is how you haven't shifted thus far, and all you're thinking about is this feeling of dread about shifting, and all you think about and feel is you feel like a failure, and that's how you approach shifting, you're going to fail. And that's not because you're bad at shifting, it's because you think that you're bad at shifting, and that's how you approach your shifting. You can't make failure a characteristic in your shifting journey. You need to find some way to distinguish your old story from your new story. This is gonna sound a little rambly, but I'm gonna start making sense, okay? Don't worry. I think I think I'm gonna start now. That was intro. I don't even know what I'm saying, but I guess that can be considered an intro. Anyways. So old story and new story is up to you. I touched on this a little bit last time, but every single shifting attempt is new, because every single moment is new. Every single moment you're shifting, every single moment is like a new beginning, and every single attempt is a new attempt. That is literally how you need to change your brain and how you think about it, because if don't think of it shifting as a linear thing. Every single moment is new, and there's no reason for your past to repeat itself unless that is your assumption. There is no reason for your past to repeat itself unless that is your assumption. There is no reason for your old story to continue on that same track unless that is the story that you are writing. And that is the one tough pill that you need to swallow, because I've noticed with most people who've been trying to shift for a long time, they always come to me with the same kind of belief system and the same kind of hopelessness. And they're doing two things. A, they're not empowering themselves and they're not taking control of their reality. And two, they're not they're focusing too much on the past. They're focusing on what hasn't worked for them. They're focusing on not shifting. A lot of them don't even like shifting anymore. They've just you guys have, a lot of you have made it so miserable and sad for yourselves when it doesn't have to be. And I know that it's hard to sort of grasp that everything is up to you. I know after a long time of just like feeling like you're stuck in a loop, it's hard to see that the loop that you're in is one of your own making, and that's the only way that you're going to get out of it. You need to like really take accountability and really take responsibility and understand that you can't put shifting on a pedestal because you're the only person that can shift you. There's no piece of advice, there's no piece of knowledge or advice or technique that is stronger than your assumptions and the way that you think your shifting is going to go. Because all shifting is intention. And a lot of you guys go to sleep crying about shifting and wake up crying about shifting, and you guys are so sad about it when you just don't have to be. Like, you need, when those thoughts come up, like, just, you need, sorry, these messages are being held for review. When those thoughts come up like, oh, I haven't shifted for X amount of time, flip it. And it's not a hard thing to flip it, okay? I know everyone's made it seem really hard. It's not hard to flip your thoughts. And it doesn't take a lot of effort or time. For example, the way I flipped my thoughts personally, as someone who has very disorganized thoughts, if I had thought about like, oh, I won't shift tonight, I would not engage in it. That's the only thing. You just don't engage in it. You let the thought go. It's just a thought. You let it go, and you can think another thought. Like, guys, you can think whatever you want. You need to literally practice that. You need to practice like actively pointing your thoughts in a way that won't make you miserable. You need to focus on shifting in a way that won't make you miserable. You need to make it fun for you. And the most important thing is leaving it in the past. You need to leave your past experiences in the past. One way that I do this, or one way I have people make the distinction between their new story and their old story, is number one, you need to decide, like today or tomorrow or this week sometime, I want you to decide to change your story. Like, if your shifting journey has gone a certain way for a certain amount of time, like, you need to decide this week that this is going to change. And that is a decision that you're going to have to make. You're like, make the decision, like consciously make that decision. And then this is what you're going to do, okay? Write down everything from your old story. And I want, like, put this effort in for like one day. Just put this effort in for one day, and then I'll explain later, okay? I want you, after you've made the decision that, okay, today I'm going to rewrite my story and I'm going to change it. This is what you're going to do. About your past shifting journey, I want you to write everything down. I want you to write what kind of shifter you were. I want you to write down how you felt. I want you to write down what you hated about your shifting journey. I want you to write down what you really liked about your shifting journey. I want you to pour all your stupid, dirty, filthy thoughts and emotions about shifting onto this piece of paper. I want you to write down everything, every single unhinged opinion of yours. Write it down. No one's going to see it. Write it down. Write it down. I want you to pour everything about your old shifting journey, just get it out. Just put it on a piece of paper. And then literally burn it. get rid of it. Flush it down the toilet, recycle it, rip it up into little tiny, teeny tiny pieces, and release it. Anything that makes you feel like you're finally letting go, you need to break yourself out of this loop, and this is one way to do it. Literally, just get fucking rid of it. And then I want you to write down your new story. I want you to, like, this is your goal, okay? This is what you are. This is the story you're going to abide by. So think, like, do it very intentionally and do it carefully. I want you to write down everything that you want. I want you to write down what kind of shifter you are, what kind of shifter you want to be. I want you to write down what you want from your shifting journey. I want you to write down exactly how easy it is for you to shift. I want you to write down every single one of those things. I want you to write down, oh, I am a master shifter. I shift literally every single night. I shift just by intention. My mindset is amazing. My mindset is great. I literally feel so positive, uplifted, and etc., etc. about shifting. I want you to write it all down, keep it, release it, do whatever you want with it. But this is the story that you're going to live by. It's the same way, like, you heard those people who, like, they're like, oh, I just did what I thought a straight A student would do, and now I'm a straight A student. It's the same thing. Like, write down what you want to be, what kind of shifter you want to be, what kind of shifting experiences you want, etc., etc. Write it down, and I want you to don't stray from that. If you have any thoughts, this is your distinction now, okay? If you have thoughts or emotions from your old story, recognize it as old. Like, for example, if I'm like, oh, I'm a horrible shifter, literally either say it mentally or say it out loud. Be like, oh my God, this is my old self. Like, thank you for showing up for me and trying to protect me from failure, but I have let you go. Do that. You're naturally, after a while, after a few days even, the separation will start to become more and more natural, and it will just happen organically. You don't have to push your emotions away. You don't have to, like, tell yourself to shut up. You don't have to push down your emotions, and you don't have to push anything away, and you don't have to tell yourself to shut up. Just to recognize it as old. That is where you're going to start, okay? This is your transition period. Just recognize it as old. That's all you need to do. Just take it day by day. Take it step by step. Just, you're just literally just do it every single time it pops up. And it's not going to feel like a lot, like, it's really quick. It's like, oh, I'm sitting in math class and shifting. No. That's my old self. Sorry. Thanks for showing up. It's my old self. And it'll fade away. It'll go away. Like, you're reconciling with your old self. You're letting your old self go. You're not pushing your emotions away. You're not invalidating them. It's a way for you to process them while also moving on. This is how you're going to start, okay? And then you're going to notice how you're naturally going to start distinguishing your old self from your new self. And you're going to start identifying with your new self. You're going to have the attitude of your new self. And it's just going to happen naturally to the point where you won't even need to, like, consciously correct your thoughts. It will just happen. That's just how it's going to be. And honestly speaking, you can apply this to literally anything in your life. Like, if you want to move on from, like, any sort of bad habit or, like, bad, negative or, like, detrimental thinking cycles, this is something you can do. Like, this is a great way to, like, this is a great, gentle, and effective way to, like, to move on. It gives you a little bit of structure in the beginning, and then when time, takes its toll, when you sort of get used to it and get comfortable with it, you won't feel yourself putting in that much effort. It's just going to happen naturally. Just let it go. Like, let go of the need to control, because the only thing that you're reinforcing if you're desperate to control yourself or the people around you or your journey or your experiences, if you're desperate to control all of that, you're actually reinforcing the opposite thing. Like, people who are in control of their lives, they don't have to fight for control. They're just in control, Like, and it's kind of hard for people to realize that in order to gain control and independence, you have to let go of that desperation. Same way about like shifting. This reality is not special. It's not hard. It's not harder compared to other realities. It's not easier. It's just a reality. And you need to practice that neutrality. You need to approach shifting in a very neutral way, because it is exactly what you make it. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not easy. It's not difficult. It's literally all up to you. And that's the neutral perspective that you should be approaching shifting from. What was I even saying? There's something that I was going to say that I forgot. Oh yeah, same thing with shifting. Like, if you're thinking about, I need to escape this reality. I need to get out of this reality. I need to escape. If you approach shifting from a standpoint that you need to escape something, then you're just reinforcing or implying the fact that you're stuck here. And that is not the case. You are not stuck at all. You need to be conscious of your implications. You need to be conscious of the way that you shift, because a lot of people are just going through the motions of shifting, and they're not like invested in their own journey. Like, they're not actively participating. They're kind of just going through the motions and being really upset and sad and disheartened about it, and they're not doing anything to change it. If you're feeling disheartened or if you're feeling sad, like, do something to lift up your mood. Like, emotions and your emotions and your thoughts, don't let them control your life or the way that you see things, because you aren't your emotions, you aren't your thoughts. Your emotions change every time. Your thoughts, you exist before a thought. You exist after a thought. Your existence is not defined by or limited to your thoughts. Your emotions aren't permanent. You can 100% easily change your emotions and your thoughts. Don't think of it as hard. That's another thing. Don't think of changing yourself as difficult, because you're literally changing every single second of every single day. A lot of the resistance that you guys are experiencing is resistance from yourself. Like, you're pushing back against yourself out of fear and out of desperation. And that's another thing. A lot of you guys are stuck in one place because you're scared of failing. You need to let go of that fear of failure, because the only thing you're doing is it is increasing your chances of failing. No, who the fuck is calling on my home phone? Okay. I'm gonna let that go to mail. I'm literally not picking that up. You know, we never used our home phone. I don't know why anybody calls us on it. Like, ooh. Like, I'm actually, people think that this feeling of failure is something that is exclusive to shifting. But honestly, if you fail, like, think of it this way. Like, if you fail at a skill, or if you're not, or if you're trying to do something and you fail in real life, like, if you're trying to accomplish a goal and you fail, if you don't let yourself fully try and fully dive into it, you're not going to accomplish the goal. Like, this is kind of like also life advice, because I feel like people think that this is feelings that are exclusive to shifting. This is not something exclusive to shifting. People deal with these feelings every single day. It's solvable. Like, let it sink in. Like, it's solvable. You can fix it. Like, your mindset is not the end of the world. It's okay. Like, if you don't try, you're going to fail. If you try, you might not fail. Like, those are your odds. If you're not going to let yourself fully try and fully dive into it, you're just repeating the past. You're making your past like a weird self-fulfilling prophecy, and you're letting it loop because it's comfortable for you. And also, say that you have a plane ticket to some random place that you've never been to, but it's kind of cool. You're going to be excited. You're going to be nervous. Maybe you're even a little bit afraid of heights. But you're going to get on that fucking plane anyways, right? You paid for the ticket. Like, people are looking for ways to skirt around really basic emotions when all you have to do is literally just do it. Like, stop thinking about doing it. Like, don't think about doing it. Don't think about failing. Just do it. Fully invest yourself in doing it. Like, have fun while doing it. Like, stop thinking about the past. Just don't even let yourself think about the past. Past is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The only way it's relevant is if you make it relevant. So stop making your past relevant. Yeah, surrender. Because the only thing you're surrendering to is your own power. The universe is literally you. Anyways, let me read these comments. Like, I know also a lot of people are like blaming the universe or the 3D. And it's like, why are you hating on yourself? The universe is literally just you, bro. Self-hate is not a good look. It's not hot. Don't do it. Hot people don't hate themselves. It's literally not attractive. Don't do it. Don't blame the universe, because you're literally just trying to point blame away from yourself, and the needle is landing right back on you. What if I want things in my Sierra, but I also want to shift? Those things don't contradict. Like, what? This is what I'm saying. You don't need to put in effort, like this much effort, into manifesting or even shifting. You don't need to really you don't need to focus on one or the other. They're literally the same thing. Shift, shift, and then when you come back, it'll be like, oh, I'm going to shift back to my CR with X things, blah, 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 with X changes. You can do that. Like, you don't need to make it like a big deal. Just do both. Doesn't matter. And intention, it doesn't matter if your desired reality is very different than your current reality. Like, it doesn't matter. You can do both. You can shift and you can manifest here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about intention. Intention is also not very complicated. It's just a way of thinking, and I use this example for intentions a lot. Like, for example, if someone who isn't shifting, someone who doesn't know anything about shifting, they go to sleep and they know that they're going to wake up in the same bed the next morning. That is intention. When someone intends to shift, they go to sleep and they know that they're going to wake up in their desired reality. That is the only thing that intention is. It's just a way of changing your thinking. You know, it's really simple. You know, like, okay, I'm going to go get dinner. That's my intention. I'm gonna go get dinner. I intend to go get dinner. And then I get up and then I go get dinner. I intend to drink water. So I pick up my glass and I drink water. A really important question I have is, can I contact people in my OR in any way, or is that too far-fetched? Communication between realities does not work the way people think it works. It's actually a way of group shifting. For example, if I wanted to talk to my friend here while I was in my desired reality, I would be shifting her into a reality where, for example, like she gets a letter from me. I'm going to be shifting her into a reality where that letter exists. That's kind of how communication works. You can also do less concrete things, like energetically, and, you know, because time and space don't really exist. So obviously, like, you can send messages, like, through your dreams and stuff. Can telepathy work across realities? Sometimes. I do not like NFTs. You can do it through the Life app, but the Life app would essentially be shifting your friend or whoever you want to communicate with. No, I'm not going to be doing advice on the void state. Like, this video, I'm going to keep it about shifting, about this topic, because otherwise my lives get too long, you know? You feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Does anybody have questions about anything I've said so far? Like, about the technique I gave you, or like any of the points that I brought up? No, why would you be mentally exhausted? You won't. You can do that. I freeze time all the time. Yeah, this live is gonna be on my channel. It'll be accessible, don't worry. Can you talk about more intention, please? How to build up belief you can shift with your intention? You can that's if you want to build up belief in your intention, you need to practice your intention. Like, so I think a lot of people do this thing where they actively state their intentions to sort of neutralize it. I intend to pick up my glass of water, so I picked it up. I intend to go eat, so I'm going to go eat. I intend to shift, so I'm going to shift. Things like that. Or you can intend to manifest small things. I intend to get a drink by the end of the day. I intend to have bigger eyes by the end of the day. Things like that, like there's a lot of different ways to work on your intention. But don't put pressure. Don't put a pressure on yourself. Manifesting and shifting involve a lot of letting go. It involves a lot of it's like you have to understand that you are the universe. You are the projection that you're seeing. You are literally the one who decides your experiences from now on, And what I mean by letting go, it's just like